States to wherever they want. Everybody, and then you get these people saying, oh, well, they got orders to be back in 3 years for a court date about their hearing as to whether or not they can stay. And if you really watch some of these videos, most of these people coming across aren't all these little children like they proclaim and exclaim. These are teenagers and older and adults. And even the ones that are teenagers, so let's say they're 13, 14, 15, okay? Come back in 3 years. By the time they come back, and especially the young females, chances are they're going to have a baby in this country, and guess what? That makes the baby a legal citizen because it's born on United States soil. Do you think they're going to deport the mother? No. They're going to be swept underneath the carpet. Watch and see, people. You can laugh about this all you want, but just watch and see. Mark my words. Every time I've done podcasts and other audio broadcasts in the past, and people have laughed and sent me emails and say, oh, you've lost your mind. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay? You can laugh if you want now, but I'm going to tell you, watch and see what happens in the next 6 months to a year. All you uppity white folks out there who think you live on the high and mighty, got kids in these highfalutin school systems, wait till you see who becomes their classmates. Wait till you start seeing them bring home their coursework with a course on it and enunciates that ESL. Anybody know what that is? English is your second language. That's right. I've already seen a couple articles on schools in the United States that their students are required to speak Spanish as their primary and English as a secondary. Excuse me, I don't even care if you're based in a Latin-based community. You are in the United States of America, to where English is the predominant language of the land. It needs to be declared as such, and you need to speak it or leave. Now, you can do what you want at your home. I don't care. God bless you. Have it out and have your little cha-cha-cha-cha-chas, okay? Shut up. I can't speak Spanish. You can do all that you want. You can speak French. You can speak Greek. I don't care what language it is. But for the love of Jesus, when you're out in public and you need to communicate with somebody about something, speak the language that they can understand, so we don't have to sit there and look at you like the retard you are. Do you think for a second you're going to go down to Mexico? And I'm not talking about in the flippin' tourist areas like Cozumel and other places like that. You go into Tijuana, you go into Chihuahua, you go into Mexico City. I'm going to tell you right now, ain't a place down there that you're going to call and hear, press 1 for English. You're not going to see menus written in English. You're either going to speak and read the language or pay and suffer the price. Oh, and while I'm on this little bandwagon and rant, the flag. That's right. That pretty red, white, and blue thing with the stripes on it waves what our country believes in, what we support, what it's been through. That's right, the flag. I don't care where you come from. You want to come to this country and be a citizen? Then have allegiance to the country that affords you the freedoms and the liberties of which you choose to partake. And what I mean by that is you mean to support the flag of the United States of America. And if it offends you and your children, here's what I have to say to you. Turn around, don't look, walk your butt back home, because I don't care. And I don't really think anybody else does either. Now they can lie to your face and say, I try to act like this all peaceful, loving, happy family all they want. Who do you think you're fooling, you bunch of hypocrites? Because when you go home at night, the first thing I hear out of half these people's mouths is, I wish these people learned how to speak the language of the land. I can't understand them. Blah, 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 blah. Bet you wouldn't say it to their face, would you? I will. I don't care. Because I'm an American. And I love my country. I have fought for my country. And I support my country. So if you don't like the stars and stripes, if you don't like the red, white, and blue, and you find it offensive, go back home. You hear me? And take all your family with you, because chances are they think along the same lines as you do anyways. Take them all. Go. We'll want you. Now, I understand everybody, with the exception of the Native Americans, come from someone who was an immigrant, who come through Ellis Island, New York, or other areas, but they done it the right way. They took the necessary steps to procure the correct documentation to become a legal citizen of these United States of America. They chose to work and be productive and to interact with the community of which they lived, and most anybody could go up and talk to them and understand them. Now, they might have spoke broken English and had a hard time, but at least they were willing to put an effort into it. I used to work for a company. I'm not going to divulge their name because that's really neither here nor there. Used to work for a company and would take phone calls from people of Spanish descent, not just Mexican, Spanish, or any other language for that fact. And we had to do our very best to acquire information from them. And it would be almost times in occasions to where you couldn't so much as understand the name, much less spell it. And Lord forbid if you ask someone on the phone to spell their name. Talk about create a holy war. Well, you thought you just shot them in the face. Or worse yet, you take a phone call and the first thing they do, someone speak Espanol? No. And if you can't speak the language, and by Jesus, put someone on the phone that can. Now, I'm not going to drown myself. Don't expect me to drown myself nuts because you choose not to learn the native. I'm going to have someone argue with me with that, but I'm going to say what it is. The native language of this land, English. And I know I got some loonball little friends out there. They first thing they're going to come crying to me about and sending me emails about, well, English has never been officially declared the official language of the land. Well, what have we been speaking since 1776 and before? Aborigine? No, but English. Look it up. What's all our books written in? English. Bling. So stop with that whole thing and arguing about, well, it's not being declared the official language of the land, because I personally don't want to hear it. And if I offend you, turn me off. I didn't ask you to listen. You chose to. We have become a nation of entitled, disengaged, hard to please, ungrateful. I probably could put a lot of other explanatives in there. Entitled. Entitled people make me sick. Think just cause you come here, you're entitled to this, that, and the other. You ain't entitled to squat, Jack. The only thing you're entitled to is the opportunity to apply the correct way to become a citizen of the United States of America. And until you do, then, you operate under a legal visa, work permit, whatever it may be, until that's been granted or denied. That's another issue of irritation for me. People here on work visas that expire, and we don't even go chase these people down to find them and take them back home. No, we just open our arms and welcome everybody in. Welcome to the new welfare state, folks, where your government wants everybody on welfare. So no, they don't. Wait and see. Wait and see. Give this about 6 months to a year. See what happens. Look at the prices of food. Before long, it's going to take half your paycheck to buy half a week's worth of groceries. Let me rephrase that. It might take your whole paycheck for a half a week's groceries. Went to the grocery store last night. Just pick up a few odds and ends. Make a casserole dish for this Sunday. Dear Jesus, to buy 2 bell peppers was $3.80. 2. You buy a gallon of milk, my God, that's almost, in fact it is. Buying a gallon of milk's more expensive than buying a gallon of gas. I can remember here, I think it's about, 2-3 weeks ago, decided to cook some chicken up for our family, have some fried chicken. My baby girl just teared them old chicken legs up. So I had to make a truckload of them. But I bought a family portion size of Tyson chicken legs. They're some big old fat member jammers. Normally that same package of chicken legs here about this time a year ago was running about $5.85, which wasn't really hateful. Not this time. Not this time. $13.35 for that same size package of chicken legs. Hamburger. I remember when hamburger used to be fairly reasonable for small packages. And of course, our family don't live hound hog, so I really didn't get around to looking at the prices of steak and pork. I'd almost be scared to look at it. I'd probably have a massive coronary standing right there in the aisle. But it's just falling to pieces, folks. This world's out of control. Something needs to give. I'll tell you what really needs to happen, but we'll save that for another. But, bottom line, and I don't want to turn this podcast into a religious podcast. I have my faith. I am a Bible-believing Christian. But bottom line of it is, folks, that a lot of this is going on just because everybody's spit in the face of God. Now, you can say what you want, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. Our country is in the condition it is because we, as a nation, turn our back on God and spit in his face, and to call it anything else would be a lie. Well, that being said, I think I've covered just about everything I need or want to cover today. 'Cause I know by the time the end of the day floats around, there'll be 100 more news articles floating, and I'm sure this crisis over in Russia with the downed commercial airliner, as well as current conflict over in Israel and Gaza, and the ever-increasing flooding of illegal aliens in this country is going to progressively get worse. So until I can gather some more news up, have a chance to evaluate what's going on in this big old world of ours, I want each and every just take a little time. Take some time each day to sit back and evaluate your life. But more importantly, and probably the most important, how about taking a little time out of your day, your precious day, to extend a hand and help someone else out? If nothing else, be a friend. Offer them a word of encouragement, because Lord knows every one of us could use it. Well, that's it for today, folks. You've been listening to A Viewpoint right here with me, Greg Howard. And you can be sure of one thing, we got more coming for you. But until then, we're out of here. Take care. Peace.